It's 6 p.m. on a Friday here in Korea. Welcome to our newscast. I'm Daniel Che. Let us begin with the headlines. North Korea remains quiet about a string of recent defections by its officials, including its number 2 diplomat in the UK, though a source close to the regime says Seoul engineered the defections. The special investigator looking into alleged corruption involving a top presidential aide is in turn accused of leaking confidential information about the case to the media. At the Olympics in Rio, more medals for South Korea coming in badminton and taekwondo, while women's golf is looking good too. And sprinter Usain Bolt is well on his way to another triple gold performance. While North Korea's official line remains quiet on the recent high-profile defection, a close former associate of the late North Korean leader, Kim Jong-il, says Seoul pressured the ambassador to make that choice. Our Kwon So-hwa has our top story.
There has been no official response from North Korea yet on the defection of its deputy ambassador to the UK since the South Korean government officially confirmed the news Wednesday. But that doesn't seem to mean the case is off of Pyongyang's radar.
North Korea doesn't necessarily react to defections. It's likely that it's cautiously watching over the situation, considering the impact the case will have internally.
Kim Myung-chul, a close former associate of late North Korean leader Kim Jong-il, who is based in Japan and regarded as North Korea's unofficial spokesperson, told British daily The Telegraph that South Korea's intelligence authorities either forced Tae Yong-ho to defect or bribed him, claiming he wouldn't have defected on his own. Kim said it's part of a tactic used by South Korea's intelligence agencies to bring about the collapse of the regime. He added the South Korean government is using women to lure North Korean diplomats from all across the world, and even suggested South Korea could have kidnapped Tae's children until he agreed to go to the South. Seoul's Unification Ministry spokesperson on Friday characterized the comments as a natural reaction, as the North wouldn't want to acknowledge a sense of defeat. He also said that defections like Tae's seem to be the result of an unbearable situation and that it could be linked to the tough international sanctions on the regime. As more information about the case emerges, multiple sources close to North Korea say Tae was in charge of the ruling Workers' Party Secretariat, delivering high-level information directly to leader Kim Jong-un. In addition, he was probably also responsible for work related to the Kim family's secret funds. The sources also say that despite their elite status, diplomats of Tae's rank in London are paid around 450 to 500 pounds, or roughly 590 to 660 US dollars per month, and that in many cases, North Korean diplomats abroad can't even afford basic health care. Reports are emerging that an official at the North Korean embassy in Russia also defected recently, with some saying at least 7 diplomats have fled this year. Seoul's Unification Ministry said Friday that it cannot confirm any of the reports due to safety concerns and for diplomatic reasons. Kwon So-hwa, Arirang News.
South Korea's presidential office says that a special inspector may have disclosed classified information about a probe on a senior presidential secretary. If it turns out to be true, it would be a grave violation of the law. Kim Young-gil has the details.
Special investigator Lee Seok-soo was criticized by the nation's top office for allegedly leaking information regarding an ongoing probe on Woo Byung-woo, the senior presidential secretary for civil affairs.
Leaking and exchanging information on an ongoing probe to certain media outlets is a grave breach of law. It's a neglect of duty and cannot be condoned.
The presidential office has accused the inspector of misconduct, saying he leaked the process and details of the classified case to a journalist in advance. If this turns out to be true, he could be sentenced to a maximum of 5 years of prison in accordance with the law.
The inspector confirmed specifics of an ongoing case to a media outlet and said he will ask for an investigation regardless of the result of the inspection, which is exactly what happened. This is a serious violation of the law.
Special Inspector Lee, who was appointed to the post by President Park Geun-hye in March of 2015, has flatly denied all the allegations against him, saying that he never contacted the media nor revealed anything about the investigation. Lee's first case since his appointment began last month amid mounting calls for Woo to step down. over claims he abused his power and misappropriated funds, allegations that also extend to his family. The senior secretary remains in his position, though, and was not included in Tuesday's partial cabinet reshuffle. The presidential office has refused to comment on the results of the special probe and the future of Woo's duty. Kim Young-gil, Arirang News.
The opposition parties are calling for the top office to dismiss the senior presidential secretary, while some ruling party lawmakers have said he should resign. For more on the parliament's strong reaction, let's turn to our Park Ji-won.
Korea's opposition parties criticized the presidential office for attempting to discredit the special inspector who's conducting an internal investigation into the president's civil affairs secretary, saying the top office should reflect on its actions and apologize. The opposition bloc said the presidential office is covering up the heart of the matter, the allegations against its senior presidential secretary, by diverting the focus to the special inspector and what it says was his misconduct in deciding to speak to the press about a classified case. The opposition parties also called for the resignation of the senior secretary in question, Woo Byung-woo, who's facing allegations of embezzlement and abuse of power.
We urge the president to look at how the public responds to the presidential office's announcement. You should not turn a blind eye to the corruption allegations while aiming to protect your staff. The people are calling on the president to make a wise decision about the allegations against one of the country's highest public officials.
No one believes a fair investigation by the prosecution is possible, as long as a senior sitting presidential secretary for civil affairs is the one under investigation. The People's Party urges the presidential office to dismiss Woo Byung-woo immediately, and only then can we expect a fair and swift investigation by the prosecution.
The ruling Saenuri Party's position is more ambiguous. It wants thorough investigations into both the allegations against Woo and the accusations of misconduct against the Special Inspector Lee Seok-soo.
We can say that because this is the focus of the public's attention, every allegation should be properly resolved according to the law and principles.
But the party is divided. Some lawmakers, including floor leader Chung Jin-seok, are calling for Woo to resign so the prosecution is free to conduct its investigation, while others have declined to comment on the matter. Park Ji-won, Arirang News.
Korean households are tightening their belts as income growth remains sluggish and the older generation looks to save up while they can. The latest data on people's willingness to spend their monthly income continues to head downhill. Kim Min-ji looks into the factors contributing to this trend.
Korean households are choosing to tighten their belts as income growth remained paltry in the second quarter. Statistics Korea says the average monthly income during that period was roughly $3,880, rising just 0.8% from a year ago. But when factoring in inflation, the average sum remained unchanged from the previous year. Spending also remained weak. The average propensity to consume came in at 70.9% in the second quarter, meaning a person with $100 in disposable income would spend about $71. That's down 0.7 percentage points from a year ago.
The decline closely ties in with the rapidly aging population. People in their 50s and 60s have a lower consumption propensity than those in their 30s and 40s.
Reflective of this trend, the household surplus rose 3.6% on year, indicating a rise in saving. And while the government is pushing hard to open people's wallets up, prospects remain bleak for the second half of the year.
The government's tax break on consumption has come to an end. On top of that, the country's household debt is growing at a faster pace than household income, which will crimp spending power. The government's ongoing corporate restructuring drive will also hurt spending in regions where those industries are concentrated.
Even in the long run, driving up consumption looks more than challenging.
Experts say the government needs to come up with measures to boost quality jobs for the general public, as well as implement policies to support the elderly population, such as reducing healthcare expenses and housing fees to encourage more spending. Kim Min-ji, Arirang News.
Korea's producer prices dipped for the first time in 4 months in July, a 0.1% decline last month from June, according to the Bank of Korea. This comes mainly on the back of a slide in global oil prices. Dubai crude, Korea's benchmark, fell over 8% in July. Prices of manufactured products fell 0.1% from the month before, while those of agricultural and fisheries goods gained 0.6%. Utility prices fell 2% during the said period. When compared to a year earlier, producer prices were down 2.4%. Samsung's latest addition to its Galaxy series, the Note 7, hits shelves in 10 countries worldwide today. The hotly anticipated phablet has a price tag of roughly $890 here in Korea. Similar in appearance to the Galaxy S7 Edge, it boasts state-of-the-art features including enhanced water resistance and biometric security functions. Pre-orders in Korea came to roughly 400,000. That's about triple what it was for the S7 released back in March. Shares of Samsung Electronics surged to a new all-time high on Friday, in part thanks to a better-than-expected market response to the new Galaxy Note tablet. The tech giant gained more than 2% to close at about $1,500, beating its own record set the day before. And it led the benchmark KOSPI up 0.04% to a new high for the year. Local analysts also attribute Samsung Electronics' two-day rally to the company's surprise second quarter operating profit of around $7.2 billion, led by the popularity of its flagship smartphones and brighter prospects for its semiconductor and display units for the latter half of this year. Team South Korea put up some impressive performances, adding medals from taekwondo and badminton. The biggest name in athletics, Usain Bolt, eyes an Olympic triple. Here's Yeon-jae with all the thrills and spills from Rio.
Thursday was a great day for Team Korea, which captured medals and is leading in golf. Korea's Lee Dae-hoon beat his Belgian opponent to claim bronze in men's taekwondo in the 68-kilo category. Lee overcame his earlier loss in the round of 16 in the repechage, which is kind of a second chance at a medal. And in badminton, Jeong Kyung-eun and Shin Seung-chan smashed their way to a bronze in the women's doubles, beating a duo from China 2-0. The victory never looked in doubt, with Jeong's quick defense and Shin's accurate drop shots overpowering the Chinese pair. And in women's golf, sitting on 10 under par, Korea's Park In-bi is in a commanding position after round 2, one shot ahead of Stacey Lewis of the U.S. In the meantime, Jamaica solidified its supremacy in athletics events. Usain Bolt claimed his second gold of Rio, clocking in at 19.78 seconds in the men's 200-meter. And following in his golden footsteps, Elaine Thompson added another gold in the women's 200 meters on top of her previous 100-meter victory. Both sprinters are now eagerly awaiting the 4x100-meter final on Friday evening to finish their stay in Rio with 3 golds. Yeon-jae, Arirang News.
Former Olympic table tennis champion Ryu Seung-min, best remembered for his animated celebrations following every point in his matches, has become the second South Korean to join the International Olympic Committee. A significant achievement, as there are only 15 members on the IOC's Athletes Commission. Park Jong-hong tells us more.
From table tennis prodigy to sports ambassador, Ryu Seung-min is the newest member of the IOC's Athletes Commission. Among 23 candidates, Ryu finished second in a poll of the participating athletes at the Rio Olympics, earning him one of 4 coveted seats available on the 15-member commission. Other new members are former German fencer Britta Heidemann, Hungarian swimmer Daniel Giurta, and Russian pole vault legend Yelena Ishinbayeva. Their 8-year terms will begin next Monday. Ryu says he will devote himself to the advancement of Korean sports and act as a bridge between the IOC and the organizing committee for the 2018 Pyeongchang Winter Olympics. There are a total of 90 members on the IOC, 15 of which sit on the Athletes Commission. They share almost identical privileges to IOC members and have the right to vote on regulations and Olympic host cities. Ryu will in effect be replacing another South Korean member, Moon Dae-sung, a former Olympic Taekwondo champion who was suspended last month over allegations he plagiarized his doctoral dissertation. With another South Korean IOC member, Samsung Group chairman Lee Gun-hee, bedridden for 2 years following a heart attack, you will essentially be the sole active South Korean representative within the top Olympic body. Park Jong-hong, Arirang News.
Rhythmic gymnastics hasn't drawn as much attention in Korea as other sports as it was seen as uncharted territory for the country's athletes. All that has changed with Yeon-jae. Come Friday, the eyes of the nation will be on the world's 5th-ranked rhythmic gymnast. Though she failed to earn a place on the podium in the 2012 Olympics, she hauled in 17 medals at this year's Rhythmic Gymnastics World Cup. And expectations are high that she will bring Korea its first medal in the sport. That concludes our newscast for this hour. As always, thank you for watching.